Hello there everyone, welcome back to a brand new Doctor Who Series 12 review. What? 12? That's insane. Wow, and this is also going to be the last series review. But anyway, Anonzi. I'm going to sing over the intro because I don't want copyright claim. Alright, there we go. Episode 1 of Series 12 is called Spyfall Part 1. So the Doctor and her friends actually do a sort of like James Bond-ish episode where they go to a casino and, meet a mister, a certain, I don't know, maybe master, And the second episode, which is Spyfall Part 2. Wow, these titles are getting original. Anyway, we are literally confirmed this is the master and he's back with a brand new regeneration. I don't know. I've got to say, like, I still think this guy is like before the Missy regeneration, because Missy had a redemption arc and she was killed off, like literally killed off. So whatever. That was the only interesting part, I guess. The master. I really like him in this series. In the next episode called Orphan 55, the Doctor and her friends travel to some kind of futuristic paradise, right? Where people chill, but they get attacked by some kind of aliens or whatever. Yeah, it was an alright mid episode. The fourth episode was my favorite one from the entire series, which is Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. So the Doctor actually travels to the 1903, where she meets Nikola Tesla, and Nikola Tesla is a very famous historical, I guess, engineer or whatever, or scientist. He had a rivalry with Edison, and obviously this is a very interesting story. And there was this villain, which was like a spider queen or whatever. Very epic episode. In the fifth episode called The Fugitive of the Judoon search for a fugitive, which is very interesting. This is also where we meet Ruth Clayton, which is going to be a very famous character in Doctor Who lore. But anyway, this was an alright episode, to be honest. And Ruth is actually like the fugitive doctor, which is a Doctor Who variant that isn't really, well established in like the Doctor Who continuity, because she's probably before the first Doctor, which doesn't really make sense, or between the first and the second, but doesn't make sense. She's complicated, but she's somewhere there. She could also be one of the regenerations that the Doctor can't remember, because it's inside of that fob watch, right? But anyway, it's still cool that we got to see a brand new Doctor Who variation, right? Captain Jack Harkness was also in this episode, which, he's very cool. He's like one of my favorite characters from Doctor Who. The next episode is pretty forgettable, so that's pretty much it. The seventh episode is called Can You Hear Me? So the Doctor and, the Doctor and her team find a spaceship, but actually the Doctor, lets her friends go because they need to do their normal day-to-day things, like, right? And that's cool. So the Doctor investigates on her own in Syria, and she helps her grow with a monster, and then they eventually find a spaceship with a guy who can control his fingers or whatever. And there's this really cool animation in this episode. So it was an okay episode, to say the least. The eighth episode was called The Haunting of Villa Diodati or something, I don't know, but the Doctor knocks at I guess, a house, right? And somewhere in the 19th century, and they get invited, obviously, inside. And yeah, there's this Cyberman dude, which is Ashad, and he gets introduced in this episode, and he is really badass. And Ashad was the best part of this episode, for sure. The ninth episode is called The Ascension of the Cybermen. So this is just after the Cyber War, where the Cybermen are a pretty powerful race, right? And this is where the Doctor actually meets Ashad for the first time. And yeah, we get like a new warrior Cyberman. So that's pretty cool, I guess. On to the last episode. Alright, the last episode is called The Timeless Children. So this is a follow-up from a previous episode, and the Doctor and the Master, well, the Master returns eventually, but the Doctor and the Master talk about some juicy stuff. There are also Cybermen who can regenerate now, which is, overpowered, because the Doctor, dun dun dun, is actually a kid. What? Lol. Nope, just kidding. Anyway, the Doctor is actually the one who made regeneration possible in Gallifrey. you know. In the last two episodes of this series, I guess a side story got introduced about a Irish policeman, but that led up to this moment, I guess. The casual stuff, man, and that's something huge and just diabolical, man. Chibnall wrote it, and there are controversial opinions about it, but I like it. I think it's a very interesting story, right, and approach to the character, but um, yeah, I think now that I'm ready watching series 12, and yeah, watching all my series that I got for Christmas, right? I think Chibnall era's, I think his era is very bad. I've seen the Davis era, Russell T Davis, Moffat. The Moffat and the Davis era had a point, but Chibnall had this episode right, but a lot of his episodes aren't really that great. Series 12 also had a special, which is the Revolution of the Daleks, but I don't have that one. So there we go. That's the end for this review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and hopefully you guys enjoyed all of the new Who reviews I guess I did so far. I'm going to review all of the 60th anniversary specials too, and we'll see where that leads us, obviously, with Shooty Gat Was series in 2024. So alright, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you later. Goodbye everyone.